Hello Twin Flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. Let's get started right away. I've got the angels and ancestors oracle deck with me and we'll get a card for each of the twins. By the way, big news, we had new moon in Cancer yesterday, and yes, I almost forgot about it, hence no reading. Oh well, I allowed it to happen. I allowed this week to happen in general. But the perfect thing that happened is I remembered it when I was hiking in Sedona and I was at one of the energy vortices, and I was able to do my meditation, my intention setting over there, and that was magical. Highly recommend. All right, let's see. What do the feminines need to know right now? What is the message? The Sun, enjoy success and happiness. This is the happiest card. And yes, I know it's not a tarot deck, but still, you know, it's like basically nothing needs to change. You don't need to take a specific action to transform things. This is more about enjoying what you've already built, what you have in your life. And it could be, of course, people and relationships, it could be your business, it could be how much you've grown yourself, personally, physically, etc. But it's important at this time to enjoy success and happiness. Love it. And then for the masculines, we have this tag, trust and thrive. So masculines continue to learn to surrender, to explore their intuition, their psychic skills, right? And more than anything, this is about allowing things to happen, to unfold naturally without pushing anything. And this is really how you get to that thriving point, right? Because you won't be able to always get things to be your way, you know, to make them happen the way you want. But it's important to sometimes just surrender to what is already happening, because it unfolds in the divine timing, in the divine way. So why mess with that? And the outcome might surprise you, because there's a very good chance it's going to be much better than what you were expecting. Okay, let's get into the main read now. I'm going to use the Steampunk Tarot as the main deck. Yeah, brief reminder that this weekend I'll start posting July horoscopes. Yeah, I might have to do a couple more days in July to finish them off, because I'm gonna be traveling. I'm leaving Arizona this Saturday, going back home to New York area, and as it always happens, travel just takes physically a lot of time and energy. But also when I get essentially back home, I'll need to run some errands, I'll need to catch up with a couple of people, to do some things. So again, that leaves me less opportunity to be working on these readings. But I will catch up throughout the week. And of course, we'll start with Cancer. So bottom of the deck, 8 of Cups at this time. Yeah, it's like sometimes it's not easy to leave behind the project or the relationship that you've been working on, you've been investing into for a long time, right? And you had high hopes and expectations from it. You were like, oh well, if we just stick with it a little bit longer, we just do this a little bit better, everything is gonna work out and it's gonna be amazing. And this could be the time when you're finally realizing that as much as you'd like that to be a reality, it hasn't been. And you're basically wasting your time on this, and possibly time of other people involved. The Hermit, yeah. The calling is to give yourself some space and regroup, brainstorm new ideas, right? It's time for something new. Okay, feminine's energy today is Knight of Wands, clarified by Page of Wands. I like that there is a progression. You can read it either way, actually, like whether it's a progression or regression, I guess. But what's important is that this is telling us that following your passion and following the creative flow is a process. It's not always happening easily just like that. Sometimes it takes, like, it's if you wish, it is a certain skill also that you're building, just like you would any other, just like you would also do with your muscle mass, you know. It takes some time to acquire different skills here, and also to get different perspectives on what that creative flow is, how it works, how can you conjure it and bring it to about when you don't really feel creative, right? But it can still be a game changer in a day, in a situation, and in the course of your life, maybe even cause the change of timeline sometimes. So really important to observe it and to study it more this time, to draw some conclusions from what you've already seen and known, and also to continue exploring. For masculines, we see 10 of Swords clarified by 5 of Wands. Whoa, that is heavy. That is tough. Oh my gosh. I immediately feel this heaviness on my heart. There's already some kind of a pain that masculines have been dealing with. And if you remember, in the last reading, we also saw some parts of it, you know, with the remorse of certain mistakes that were made, So there's already something that keeps masculines uneasy. Okay, we're starting to get some wind, which is not great for the cards, so I try to do my best not to lose any. But if you see me running at some point, you'll know why. So they're already dealing with something, still working through the pain, doing the healing, all that stuff. And then suddenly, other people started pulling on their energy and started almost demanding their attention, their time, maybe their money as well. Kind of like, what are you even doing? Like, this is where the life is, right? We need you here. And it doesn't necessarily mean 5 of Wands a lot of times takes a negative connotation. It doesn't mean it's all wrong or it's unjustified, right? Especially if this is a karmic family or colleagues at work who, you know, you have some expectations towards. All right. Sorry, guys. I didn't think it would be that strong, but you never know until you get outside, right? It's just that in the context of what the masculines are going through, it's just too much right now. It's overwhelming. And they are basically saying, like, I don't know if I can do this at all. Like, you know, I've tried to find my peace. I've tried to do my best. But this is like driving them to the wall. This is like where it's like there is a big desire to start breaking the rules and just go bad again, you know, become a little more toxic, a little more controversial, you know, or maybe a lot for some people, right? But it's like, oh, but I did such a good job, like I moved on from that. And now the situation is almost like a test to see how far or how much masculines can stretch themselves to stay in that high vibe energy as much as possible. Additional question for today. Oops. More wind. Additional question for today is 7 of Wands clarified by 7 of Wands. Which is what we like. Thank you, my guides. Yeah, so this is telling me that right now there is a need to protect your energy, your territory maybe, but more than anything, your energy field. Right? There may be some naysayers, there may be people who are jealous, who are just like the drama, etc. And they may try to invade your space because it's so attractive to them. Or, you know, some people who like to create drama, this will be like a challenge for them to see how much effort or time it will take them to create that drama in your life if they really try. So just be aware of that, and let's see additionally what do the twins need to know about it. Wow. For feminines, it's the Tower clarified by Death. So definitely this could shake up the ground really, and could cause you to reassess your relationships and generally what do you put out as your energy, right? Because we like to say and to think that, you know, people around us and situations are what we attract energetically because of where we are energetically. And so this will start the process, the chain of thought of considering where am I in my life then? If this is what I attract, if people are pulling on my energy, if I'm allowing for myself to be taken advantage of. So as always, there's definitely the positive and the negative here. Negative, of course, being that the shake-up is gonna be like, oh my god, I never thought this friend could be so toxic or so ungrateful, or that so many of my friendships didn't work out, and it sucks. But the other side of it, of course, is that now that you have more perspective and more information, you can attract people that you really want to attract. You can revisit your list of non-negotiables for building friendships, which I really strongly encourage you to do once in a while for any kind of relationships. And generally speaking, it should be the same for any relationship, but of course, depending on whether it's a friendship, familial relationship, romantic relationship, you can have certain points that are only relevant for that particular group. Like for me, my two main non-negotiables in trusted relationships are kindness and honesty in communication. And that is going to be true for any relationship, any kind of role that I have with that other person. Masculines, you have 6 of Cups clarified by 9 of Swords. Yeah, masculines, you have your dreams, you have your visions. The dreams could be in both the meaning of what you wish for, and it could be something like a dream that you see at night when you're sleeping. And those are also important to protect, by the way. Right? Don't see it as something like a carrot on a stick, or as a tease of yes, that's something I would love to have and to build, but I don't. Thanks very much for reminding me that I don't have this special bond with someone, right? This is soulmate energy, and it could be romantic, it could be also a friendship, right? But know that this is almost like a premonition. It's showing you something important. Even if you're seeing this as a flashback from the past, it's giving you some perspective what's going to happen in the future. So observe it, respect it, and get excited about it, rather than stay in your head about why am I seeing this? Is this a joke? Why would you do this to me, right? That's the overthinking part. How are the feminine seeing the connection at this point? 5 of Pentacles clarified by 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's sometimes I love the 5 and 10 here. Sometimes going from lonely, sad, and penniless to happy, abundant, excited, and surrounded by a family could be just one leap, right? It may not look like that in the moment, but it's important not to focus on this. And the feminine sees that there are definitely a lot of challenges still to work through and to transform in this connection. But they are trying to keep their eyes on the prize and focus on what they want to build, not either what's in front of them or what the experience they had before, right? Because this will also keep coming up until you heal this properly in terms of, what happened with your previous romantic partners. Maybe they let you down, maybe you feel neglected or abandoned, maybe they took advantage of you financially even. It's also possible, right? Which, by the way, pretty much all of those, if you flip them or you use the mirror effect, they come back to you and your sense of worth. So if you feel like this resonated for you, that's something to look into and to work on, right? The healing can also work this way. And so many modalities and ways to approach it. How the masculine see in the connection. We see 4 of Wands clarified by 2 of Swords. Yes, and I feel like we already saw this in the previous reading too. Something similar, anyway. That the masculines want this so much. It comes to them in their dreams. They keep seeing signs in the universe about family life, marriage, home life, I'm hearing, those kind of topics. But as soon as they see it, they start overthinking too, and that's why they don't really move this forward. Because there's also a gap between the reality and the wishful thinking and wishful story, and it's not very clear how to bring about that story that you want to create with your person out of where you are right now. But what I'm gonna say here for you, masculine, is that once you start taking steps to get yourself ready for this, emotionally, physically, spiritually, things will start falling into place. Plus, again, since we're still actually in new moon energy right now, you can set those intentions for yourself. Cancer is big on emotions. It's actually like the Cancer and the moon are directly connected, you know, as energies. And the element of water, of course, right? So whatever you feel like, where you feel like you need some emotional healing, this is for everyone, by the way. You need some emotional healing or emotional support, or you're having a hard time expressing your feelings and emotions, I would recommend setting intentions around those topics more than anything else, because this is very potent energy for that. Okay, with all that said, I'm gonna leave it here. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and until next time,